So after watching the New York special, I felt like the love scheme of the entire show is starting to finally change a little bit. It's not drastic, it's not a big measurement, but we can at least see there's some kind of change coming in the love square. Now, the basic element of the love square that Adrinette and Lady Noir clash still remains, but there are some different changes that actually portray to the future, and I think that needs to be addressed starting with Adrigami and Lucanet, the ship that has always been floating in people's minds, that will it be a portrayal in season 4. So our protagonist characters are kind of definitely starting to learn from the New York special, like they're learning each other much more better. And I think Adrian actually has started to take progress. Now, how I say this is because the roles actually have reversed. Now, in the beginning, Marinette tried to get adjusted to Adrian being just as a friend, but looking at the later part of the entire movie, it didn't seem like that Marinette can still adjust Adrian being just as a friend, but more of a lover. But Adrian, on the other hand, instead of calling Marinette just a friend, which is his common dialogue for as showing his gratitude towards Marinette, which some people call pure love, some people call blind love, some people call him dump, but it's just a way to address regular friends, right? Like Adrian is nowhere in heels for Marinette. Like if you take a look at the episode We're At, he clearly says that he's not in love with Marinette, even though like he has that feeling for Marinette. He's not in love with Marinette. Like he has the feeling, he has that friendship vibe, but he's not yet ready to fall in love with Marinette. But again, in the New York special, it kind of changes, and Adrian specifically says Marinette as a friend like you. And by these words, as a friend like you, it's specifically targeting a specific person. That's Marinette. He's specifically targeting Marinette because he knows that he never got a friend like Marinette. That means he's actually starting to show the feeling that he actually likes Marinette, in my opinion, because otherwise he would have no way to start kind of portraying to Marinette as a friend like you instead of like just a friend. There wouldn't be a dialogue change. But I think this is the start of Adrian. It's like a slight hint. It's starting to develop. It's just starting to develop, and I think it'll progress more in the futures, and this will help the development of Adrianette in season 4, and finally maybe in season 5. It's just a guess. I'm not officially confirming, but it's just a guess that season 5 will be the time for Adrianette to show up and finally get confirmed. But I think it's just kind of making the baby chicks ready for season 4. Exactly what Nino said in the episode. So I think they're just getting ready for the Adrianette to take place. So I think the New York special is one of the portrayals of that. That Adrianette is starting to get ready. Adrianette is going to happen soon in the future, but we don't know when. But it's starting to get ready. Now, this could also be the case. Adrian portraying to Marinette as a friend like you is because of her doing the hard work for convincing his father to let him go to New York. But again, it wouldn't be that big of a jump. Like he wouldn't have changed his dialogue. I think it's just he's starting to realize that Ladybug is not going to fall in love with him, and I think it's time for him to move on. Now let's come to Lady Nora for a second. Now we still know that Cat Nora is headed heels for Ladybug, but in the beginning, he offers Ladybug the yellow rose, the rose of friendship. Does he mean he's trying to avoid this? Now, Cat Nora considers Ladybug as the perfect partner, as the perfect friend. If you take a look at the entire episode, in the beginning part, not exactly in the entire show, but in the beginning, Cat Nora always tried to say that am I not the best partner? Best partner. So by this partner thing going on between Cat Nora and Ladybug, I think Cat Nora's finally started to realize that yeah, Ladybug or Lady Nora is not happening at a point. So what's the use of just giving roses every single day instead of just giving a rose of friendship just to prove as really good friends? So I think now Cat Noir has started to switch sides. It's not sure, but his actions in the beginning of the entire New York episode made me feel that he's now starting to switch his path. Now coming to Lucanet, it's one of my personal favorites, and I would have loved it to happen, but in the part where Luca actually drive Marinette to the bus, Luca said a specific dialogue that caught me. It's Marinette should get some clarity from this trip. By this, I think Luca is trying to help Marinette to get close to Adrian because Marinette in the beginning of the episode was telling Luca that Adrian's just a friend and all that. The trip is not important because of Adrian. Adrian's just a friend and all that. So Luca knew that this wasn't the truth. Luca knew Marinette still had the feeling for Adrian. So Luca is actually trying to help Marinette get to her goals. And that's why I think Luca and it is probably not going to happen. Luca and Marinette are still going to remain friends. Although Thomas did confirm at a point, and Linda Lee Rose did confirm at a point that Luca and Adrian will actually have a fight. But this fight doesn't mean necessarily that there's going to be a fight between Adrigami or Adrian or between Luca and Adrian. It's could be the dilemma. It could be the dilemma of Marinette fixing her brains to choose which is the target, right? Like they don't necessarily need to fight. They're just going to be choosing whom to choose. Luca is definitely sure that if Marinette doesn't love me, that's not a problem. Marinette's real love is Adrian, and she should move towards Adrian, even though I have a feeling for her. So Luca is definitely trying to tell Marinette that you need some clarity from this trip. On the other hand, Marinette is like now in this huge dilemma. He wants Adrian to be her just friend, but she can't. And she's still portraying that Adrian is not just a friend from the New York special, even though she tried, and Luca is helping her to push towards Adrianette. So I think Lucanet, for the time being, I think won't happen. Judging by the facts that the New York special portrayed, future of the show is not Lucanet. And finally, let's take a look at Adrigami. Now, one of the most hated ships, according to fans in the show. But here's the thing, right? Like Adrian and Kagami have a lot of similarities. And if they both came together, they would make a really good couple. I know Kagami is stubborn, she only cares about herself and Adrian and all that. But here's the thing, both Adrian and Kagami are locked up, have the same lifestyle, locked by their parents and overprotective parents. So they're just going to be a nice, understanding couple. They're going to be having interchangeable talks that they can share between each other. Like they can talk about his life and Kagami can talk about her life. So they have this really good connection between them. But if we take a look at the New York special once again, because this is the new material for the year, looking at the judging scene of when the Adrigami scene actually happened after fencing, just look at Adrian's face. He's like completely in this friend zone. He's like, yeah, see you, Kagami. Kagami kissed Adrian, but Adrian still didn't feel happy. He still didn't feel that confronted. But yeah, Adrian, according to his regular nature, just wished her bye and all that, his friendly nature. But he's not ready to date Kagami. Now, we did see season 3 that Adrian was actually kind of like touching Kagami's cheeks and all that. But again, Thomas confirmed that the New York special is actually chronologically ordered between season 3 and the beginning of season 4. Now, judging by the facts, I think Adrigami will also not happen. Adrigami will not be able to take progress for some reason. It might be Adrian just telling Kagami that, okay, Kagami, it's enough. I don't want to be with you. Or it could be the opposite, something related to Kagami, or maybe Marinette causing a fight, which is very unlikely. I don't think so. Marinette's going to do something like that because she's also trying to move away, but again, she can't. And also, the next part is it's just Adrian not being interested in Kagami because there is someone he likes more. And I think that's Marinette because he's starting to try to move towards Marinette from the New York special. It's just his expressions and dialogues and his speaking lines make me think that Adrian has started to crack out of the egg and maybe, just maybe, will take a shape in season 4 before finally being confirmed official in season 5. So what do you guys think? What's your favorite ship and what do you think is going to happen in season 4 and the future seasons? Do let me know in the comments. I'll catch you up in the next video.